Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Farm. Thinking right out here in the lab, in the little book, get a lot of information. It's gonna be good. We're gonna do some parables. It's 4 of them. We're gonna start with number 1. So that's today's lesson. Let's go. Rightisms, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in my stories for life. I give you life lessons. You tune and receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's handle our business. Right thinking mission, and I'm on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is, know thyself. So you see where we're going with this? Let's get that together. And again, I ask the question, do you know you? You will when I get through. That's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and to Maat be true. Oh, speaking of my girl, perfect segue. Right thinkers, let's talk about the first parable of 4. And the longest one is the first one. That's imparting the understanding and the knowledge of Maat. You know me. That's my favorite girl. So let's talk about it. And this is the reason why, with this information, if she don't become one of your favorite, we just went to Het Hadou Tahuti. Now we're going to do Maat. These are all aspects of your character that you need to master, understand, and emulate, and you see how it play out. So let's talk about my girl. Maat, the first parable, is Maat imported. It's an imported and knowledge and understanding of Maat, which represents what? Truth, balance, cause and effect, right there. Cause and effect. We know it as karma, okay? But that's Maat. Watch this. Righteous actions. I read. That means doing the right thing, okay? And the glory of the divine. The first thing Ra did when he came out of the noon of possibility and chaos was he needed order. That's what Maat represents in the universe. Watch this. And Maat is the order and justice and righteousness of the universe. That's a big responsibility. That's a tall order. And that's her job. Okay? She don't waver. And it is the law of cause and effect set up by who? Divine. To what? Maintain harmony in the universe. You do that, it's going to happen. Simple as that. Any action, pay attention, any action will bring a what? Reaction to the person who performing said action. You do this, that's going to happen. If you do what's good, you're going to get something good in return. You do something bad, sneaky, deceitful, you're going to get karma. That's what you deserve, okay? Depending on what you do, who you do it to, you're going to get it done to you. So again, I teach a philosophy. If something you don't want done to you, don't do it to somebody else. And if you're doing something to somebody else that you don't want done to you, you're a bad person. Simple as that. Why? Because if the other way around, you can do something to people because you're in charge in the position. What happened if it's the other way around? Would you like if they did it to you? That's why. That's why slavery for the white man is his bugaboo. Why? He got to be responsible for that. He can't, no, don't worry. Damn a reparation. Damn all that. Don't worry. They got their own okay, weight to carry across the bed, so to speak. But karma gets them too. They ain't exempt because they're white. No. Don't get it twisted. So get back to the society. That's just what? The way of the world. Simple as that. And thus, watch this. Your positive actions, I'll call it right living, will set up a positive karmic basis, which is what? You put good work out. Positive occurrence in your life. You do good work, you get good results. The negative action, sneaky, deceitful concept that I lived back in my day, wrong, set up what? Negative karma for negative occurrence that happens in your life. Our favorite motto was, it wasn't for bad luck, we wouldn't have no luck. Why? Because nothing good ever happened for us. Why? Look what we was doing. That's why. And it makes so much sense now. I laugh at that's the dude. We was way wrong. But it may not be right away. That would come. No. That's the problem. Remember, Australia's had it perfect. A lie, a bad, negative is throwing a boomerang out there. And anybody know anything about boomerangs? What? They come home. Like the chickens come to roost, the boomerang come back to where it's come when it start out. Okay? So understand that. What you put out there, it's coming back. If what you put out ain't blessed, you start ducking. Why? Because it's coming back. Consequences of that action. Every action is going to have an equal and opposite reaction. Moving on, and will occur at a point in time that you don't know. Excuse me. Yeah, sorry about that. Again, negative actions set up negative karmic bases that will occur in a person's life. So again, understanding. So it's important. It might not happen right then and there, but it'll happen at a certain point in time in your life. It may not be right away, again, but it will occur at some point in time. Remember the boomerang. So therefore, it's important to hold what? Pure, righteous thoughts. And you perform good, honest deeds in order to what? Promote goodness. If you do something good and honest and righteous, and the person you're doing it for, they can't bless you. So who recognizes the deed that you're doing? When you have peace and harmony within your life, you found peace with God. Our elders, they content. Why? They made their peace with God. They found in life, okay, I get it. So they just go on by their business and chill. Okay. What you do, again, comes back to you. If you don't believe that, that's on you, not me. Not my problem. I understand it wholeheartedly. Me and my mom talk about it all the time. It's called karma. We know that's my yacht, but everybody feel like I give you the boomerang and you throw it out there, it's coming back. So, and this is the ancient Egyptian principle we call Mishkenet. In this principle I told you about before, Mishkenet relates to what in popular culture is most commonly referred to as, again, karma and reincarnation. Do-over. Okay, repeat, whatever, however, but it's been around a long time. And it's based on what? Your action. This is about to get good. What is IRE? Your action. That's what IRE is, excuse me. But the IRE, the answer to this question can be found in the book that we call the Ru Per Im Haru, aka the textbook, or the Book of Enlightenment, also incorrectly known as the Book of the Dead. But it's the book of coming forth by day. That means after this life is over, the book of coming forth in the afterlife, if you pass this life. And the goddess Mishkenet presides over the future birth of an individual, and this is all philosophically, metaphorically, mythologically, and she represents only what? Your accumulation of the process, which has come to be known as, you ready? Ankh. That means unrighteous, so that means you'll be reincarnated. You didn't come enlightened. But in modern times, in reality, it is you, the individual, who determines his or her own fate by what? Listen, by the actions that you perform in this life. However, it's always a however, the wisdom that you acquired of the ancient Egyptian sages dictated what? That this process should be explained mythologically, in mythological terms. Why? to help people better understand the philosophy and grasp it so they can use it. Again, breaking it down simple so they can understand it. Okay, the process works as follows. I done gave this story time and time again. This the Maat, the judgment story, but it breaks down this way. The divinity, Shah, him and Renette, they govern what they call your individual fate and destiny, meaning you are in control, watch this, and your fortune, how you end up. These deities are the hands of the great God, Tahuti. They work with him. And they symbolizes what? The intellectual development of all human beings at Judgment Day. They want to see how smart you was. Watch this. And he describes a person's fate once they have faced the scales of Maat. Again, that is, they are judged in reference to what? Their past ability to what? Uphold Maat in life, righteous living. Y'all call it religion. Maat was the religion that they practiced. Okay, the 42 confessions, what I have not done to get into the next level, the shrine to go on to the afterlife. A person's intellectual capacity reflects in their what? Actions. You are what you do, pretty much. And thus, it is fitting, what? For your intellect to be the judge of your own actions. Further, watch this. Contrary to your Christian belief, God sits up high and judges you. No, God does not judge anyone. What the God? God does not judge anyone. Why? Because we are essentially gods and goddesses. That what you didn't know. That's you ignorance. You don't know yourself. If you knew yourself, you know who you are, a god or goddess. Okay? And the spark of the same divinity, the spirit that's in us, so God within us is the one that judges us. You are your own judge. Did you know that? This is an objective judgment, again, which only you, the individual, is responsible for. I can't judge you. You can't judge me. I can judge me. You can judge you. That's how it's done. And it occurs at the what? Your unconscious level of the mind. Beyond any interference from what? A person's personality, which is your ego or your ego consciousness. There's another level, which is on the surface level, that's the ego, of the mind. So therefore, one's conscious desires to go to heaven at the time of death, or one's conscious repentance at the time of death for what? Your misdeeds. If your bad outweigh your good, you ain't going. In life, cannot overcome what? The repentance at the time of death. Scooby-Doo, rut-roll. And all your misdeeds in life cannot be overcome the weight of your actions on the good side. Rut-roll. Your actions, aka your IRI, your action, that means things done to make something. Your deeds. Were they reputable? Were they honest, up and above board? If there was, that's how you purify. But if they're not, karma will give you a visit. And karma, one has set up what? During your lifetime. So it is important to begin what? Now, to do what? Purify your heart and cleanse the soul so that what? It may become makaru, true of what? Speech, true of heart, true of thought, and actions in your deeds. God recognized the heart, and if your intent is pure and righteous, he recognized that. That's what makaru means. And at the time of judgment, if you practice makaru, the God and goddesses are what? Your cosmic forces, which only facilitate the process. But from the mythological and philosophical standpoint, theologically, they are just concepts for what? For us to understand the mystical philosophy of the teachings. You have to understand it and experience it. So once the judgment has been rendered and the goddess Mishkanet takes over and appoints the person's future family, this is the part I call fluff. This is okay, but I'm gonna skip through that. But if before you died, what happened? Your desires was to become a musician. Okay, you failed the scales of Maat, and now the goddess misconnect will send you to a country or family circumstances where your desires can be pursued. But you come here blank, so you don't know. I have a little different concept about that, but that's theirs. But if you were a mugger, perfect example, if you were a mugger in your past life, you would end up in a place, in a situation where you would be a victim of the same circumstances that's suffering what they call karma, such as you cause to others. And this experience will what? Teach you to act otherwise in what? In the future. Don't do that again. Okay? Excuse me. So they tell you, so you learn the lesson to what? Act otherwise in the future, thus improving your future birth. Lessons in life. You're here to learn a lesson. Until you get it right across the board, you'll keep coming back again. So what you do after that is within the preview of your own free will and your actions again. Even in the new life, because you didn't get it right, you will be coming back in your new life and will hopefully engender and determine the next and on again till what? You get it right. This process is what they call Mishkanet, is destiny of birth. Mishkanet is the manifestation of one's Shah Nefer. That means your body, God. The positive destiny. When you end up in a good place, that's Shah Nefer. That means you made it, you went over to the good spot. Or you get Shah Mit. Mit, Shah, S-A-I-MIT. That means the guy with the hatchet to his head, self-destruction. That's negative destiny, aka hell. This is one's harvest. You reap what you sow. If you deserve to what you get, that's because you did it to yourself. Again, that's what self-destruction means. They had it laid out a long time ago, and it still works to the same day. And watch this. What one reaps from one's actions. If that's your end result, that's because you did it again. And this is life process, and it leads to what? That means unenlightened. That means you destined for reincarnation. And the object is to lead oneself on a process of what? Increasingly better births until it is now possible to have their spiritual enlightenment, inclination, and get to the company of a sage or a saint who can lead them to their personal, to what? Self-discovery. Again, it's all about the self, but if you don't have the wherewithal, you need somebody to help you. That's the teacher, that's the sage, the saint job. My teacher, my pastor is a saint. I'm the sage. And it's called WRIGHT. That means knowledge of self, your heart. Know your heart. It says, I know my heart. That means you know God. When a person achieves this self-discovery, here we go, we come around the mountain right now. I'm getting to the good stuff. Pay attention. They are referred to as Ox, A-K-H. That means the enlightened one. Okay, Akhus, enlightened beings, okay, in the flesh. Altogether, you have a sum total of your person's past actions, desires, feelings, thoughts, and their belief system. We all have one. It's all considered the person's Ariyu. A-R-I-U. That means plural. And it means they're popularly known as what? You ready? The law of karma in Malin culture. Again, your actions determine your destination. You reap what you sow. You do good things, you get good things in the end. You do bad things, you're going to get bad in the end. Simple as that. First, a person must become virtuous from the heart. Because what? This purifies one's what? One person's actions. When you acting from here and not here, it's pure. And thus, the Ari, meaning your action, karma, basis, negative Ari only leads to what? Negative situations. But also, it leads to mental dullness, agitation, confusion, and it becomes harder to understand the teachings of the philosophy wherein your mind is in that ignorant, dull state. Some people don't want to learn. You can't teach, you can't force somebody to learn. They got to come in their own free will and accord. And that they're going through enough initiation, and everybody asks you, is this of your own free will and accord? Did anybody make you do this? Anybody coerce you? Anybody promise you anything? Those are things that you have to answer in affirmative for yourself. Okay, so they treat you accordingly. When you do that, that means you're going to do what we tell you to do. Follow along. And watch this. Do the adultness and understanding the teachings. Watch this. So, when the mind is in dull state, full of what? Base thoughts, negative, bad, and negative desires of the flesh and bad feelings. This is the opposite of WRIGHT. It may be referred to as, you ready for this? Insect. That means your mind is afflicted by fetters of set, the ego, your lower nature. You're thinking only down here. Pleasures, material things. In the material world, this is the devil's domain. Why? This is all material. Illusionary but material. I think this is it. And that's where you fall short. That's the idea of what they call the illusion. But you're dealing with set, lower nature. And there is much mental agitation and suffering when you're dealing from here. Why? When you get feeling, you want to have it, and you can't, you get frustrated and annoyed. And then when you get it, what? You want more. So it ain't never going to be satisfied. That desires of the flesh will never be satisfied. But now, flip it with the positive karmic basis. That allow what? Your harmonious surroundings and what? And birth into a family which what? Has a mind, spiritually minded people, as well as you have the company of a sage, but most importantly, the clarity of your mind to understand the wisdom teachings that I'm giving to you on a day-to-day basis will help you. And if your soul is judged, and when it is, to be pure in reference to Maya, what happened? It will not be led to what they call Ankh, which means reincarnation. That's the goal, and the Egyptians lived for that. But to what? In the innermost shrine, when you pass, where it meets what is higher self, i.e. God, Asar. Your soul meets its higher self, Asar, the supreme being. And this meeting, what? When you do that, it ends your what? Any future possibilities of reincarnation. That means what? It means becoming one with the divine self. In the term, you ready? Nihas. The resurrection, in essence, that's what the Assyrian resurrection myth is, to get you to do just that for yourself. This is the only way to break the cycle of reincarnation. Knowing thyself, reaching that level, becoming one with God. That's my mission. That's my goal. That's the lesson. I'll be back with more right now. And right thinkers, may you all let it be 100, me, 100 minus a day. So I never know that my right thinkers have passed away. Don't be why? That means you're becoming back reincarnated. We want to go home.